Hello, beautiful souls. I just want to remind you that your words are very powerful. And I know you've heard this before. And I know you know the power of your thoughts and how powerful they are. But your words are more powerful. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the thoughts that we keep locked up in our mind, little tiny thoughts all throughout the day, go through our mind and tell us things about ourselves and about our lives. And we have a tendency to be quiet about them and just listen to them all day long and just over and over and over. And then we fall victim to these thoughts that we just let run unchecked in our brains all day long. And this is how we get locked into self-limiting beliefs, and even further, how we get locked into depression. And the way to break free from that is to open your mouth. Even if you can't find the words, if you can just find a vibration and allow that to flow over your vocal cords, then that is half the battle. We've often heard that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And that's true, because the words that we speak have a tendency to direct and guide our lives. But I would go further and say that it isn't just the words that we speak, but it's the frequency that we speak on. And so when we speak to ourselves with high vibrational language, the vibration of that frequency bounces off of our ears. It changes the structure of our brains. So when you're in stress thoughts and you don't know, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How's this going to get worked out? Why is this happening? What am I going to do? If all you do is hum, your vagus nerve will take over and interrupt the program running rampant in your brain. Consciously change the octave of that hum, or just break out in a song. There are certain songs that are meaningful to me, and I will just bust out and sing whenever I am overwhelmed. If I'm by myself, that is. Sometimes I just blast music just to, drown out the thoughts or whatever. But it gets me out of a funk, and it at least interrupts that process long enough for me to take over the programming and for me to decide, for me to stand in my own power and say my own affirmations. I am loved. I am protected. I am supported. I am blessed. I am healthy. I am wise. The answers come easily to me. I recognize opportunity. I recognize people in my community that can help me. I am above the strongholds of this world system. Because by design, I am a deeply emotional and sensitive being. And as I have observed myself through the years, I see that cycle flows in a certain way, a certain pattern. I no longer feel bad about myself or get down on myself on those days when I feel emotionally low, emotionally meh, or just emotionally non-emotional, just flat. On those days, I take my alone time, I take my rest, I do what I can to do good self-care, and I'm less people-y until my energy returns. And I've just learned that this is what works best for me, so that's what I do. So your thoughts are powerful, your words are more powerful and can overturn your thoughts. Words are frequency that has been put to language and meaning. If you think about it, it was spoken frequencies of different types that created the existence that we now live in. And what a mystery that is if we only knew the secret sauce to that. Remember your power. Use your words. And don't forget to like, follow, and share, save, all the things. And I'm going to start migrating my content over to YouTube. So if you're a YouTube person, find me over there as well. Thank you.